Hi and welcome back. Got the pleasure of giving you one of my favourite games of all time. This is Hoplomachus. This is their latest expansion, though it is a standalone game as well. And much needed as well, because this comes in a small box and is going to be much more accessible to folks, particularly people overseas, because this one sells out of Chip Theory Games website only, and that's in the US. So this is Hoplomachus Origins. You play Solitaire or two-player. You've got 3 arenas. These are these like neoprene mats. Unlike the other games, this time you don't take on the role of one city in particular. All the city chips are available to you, and you use the health chips to mark which colour, which chips are yours. Okay, not rather than having all chips of one colour. All right, and the good thing about this is you can mix in all the chips from the old sets. You can mix these chips in with the other sets, and if you join the Kickstarter, you would have the opportunity to grab some bonus items too, like these lovely alloy dice or some tribute chips. Here's the Royal Wolf. Here's your 3 mats. You can see they're nice and square. They're kind of compared to the training grounds, which was another add-on. They're a little bit larger but smaller than the big mats by quite a way actually. So this is Xanadu, Atlantis and El Dorado. We've got 3 arenas. We've got 3 reference cards. So we've got 2 for the solo trials. This is trials 1 to 20. So your objective playing Solitaire is to get through all 20 trials. There's AI controlling the enemy units. Dice rolls will control the enemy champions. We've got a little set of rules here as well. And then your 3rd reference card is for house rep. And this is when you're playing PvP, but when you're playing 2-player. So the idea of this is to kind of give you that handicapping system where your aim playing player versus player is to earn reputation by getting victories. And as you progress through the reputation levels, you'll get certain limitations to what you can do. And there's some general rules here on how to earn house rep. These are the chips that come with the game. So we've got Atlantis, Xanadu, El Dorado, Pompeii and Rome. So you've got representatives from all of the cities that we've seen so far in the series. We have a bunch of black chips. These are your champions. These are the enemies you'll be facing. Each one is double-sided. There's 2 levels, so each champion can get tougher. This is a staging mat, again an add-on. This is where you can just set up your deployment of units. Because we're going to be drafting units in this game. Now when you're playing Solitaire, you can choose which units you pull and use to face each trial, and that's what I'm going to demo for you today. I'm currently on level 5. I've just beaten level 4, trial 4. You get 2 attempts at each level, so I'm going to try trial 5 for the first time. If I complete it, I move on to trial 6 and so on. If you fail both attempts, you have to go back a level to trial 4, and you have to successfully complete this one once more. And you can imagine you could actually get knocked back, and it's going to be pretty tough. Only the best are going to be able to beat trial 20. There's going to be plenty of gaming action for you to try and get through those 20 levels. Okay, let's set up for trial 5. It does say that we cannot draft tacticians or attackers. So these are the drafting rules that limit what we can draft. And then who we're going to face. The Zipper, 2 tacticians, and Modular. Now in this scenario, we're going to be taking 2 tribute chips. One for me, one for them. I'm going to be starting down this end. They're starting down this end. So we'll put the gold tribute here. This is my end. I've got to pick up this tribute and carry it down here for the victory. Our enemy has got to take their tribute and bring it down here. Place on this pillar for their victory. I'm going to be playing red. They're playing blue. So Zipper starts here. 2 tacticians. New spots, and then Modular down here. Let's give them their health. These red spots are going to be our deployment hexes. And tactics wise, you can see the tacticians can run fast. The Zipper has got 2 movement. She's a gold runner, that's her innate. Units within her 2 tactical range can't use their basic attacks or alt attacks when attacking them. That's a mean foe. Modular. This unit has combat lock, so they're going to act as a blocker, stopping my units moving away. And with Bloodlust, we'll gain a black die for as long as it's not at full strength. So as soon as we hit this thing, an extra black die, it's already got 1 black and 1 blue. So we've got to figure out our strategy. This Dorado match is all about trying to put bodies in the way, really. They've got quite a lot of units. The tacticians are probably going to die quite quickly. The Zipper is going to be moving on this thing pretty quickly. So we've got to kind of block the way. And at the same time, there's the alternate route to victory is to take all their units out. Now Zipper's going to be quite... Zipper's going to be quite hard to take down. So my feeling is that what we need to do is block one of these channels, either the left or the right of this fountain, and then send one of our speedier units up and around. So that's going to be my tactics. We want to draft some units that can withstand some frontal onslaught and then something fast to move around with the tribute chip. Let's do our draft and then we can crack straight on with the action. I'm going to be looking for stuff that, hopefully can put some bodies in the way. I've got 6 chips to draft. So that's units, gladiators, and tactics. I can spread them how I wish. So if I want to take 6 gladiators, no tactics, I can do. If I want to take 3 or 4 tactics, I can do. I'll choose and come back in a second and show you what I've picked. I'm ready. I've got 5 units, 1 tactic. When you draft, you can have a maximum of only 1 special gladiator. These are the ones with the star. So I've taken a bit of a risk here and gone for Korykos. She's only got 2 health, but she's got a good tactical range, 3 movement, and ready. Ready means she can move and attack on the turn she's deployed. So I'm hoping to try and go for a bit of a mad rush, but I want to get the defender out first. And I've got propel as well. So I'm hoping to perhaps use this to push a defender further up after we deploy. I always start, so let's begin by getting one of these defenders out. I could bring out Korykos, but she's going to have to move in and grab the tribute on her first turn. The problem now is obviously that these then can move in and start attacking her, which is a huge risk. So I'm going to get a defender in first and kind of block this tactician a little bit. So let's see if this works. Now let's roll for the enemy. So for Zipper, she has to start first. Alright, so you always roll for your solo trial champion first. And each champion is going to be governed by the AI, and the AI depends on which map you're playing, because they're going to be optimized to play to the requirements of the arena. So for Dorado, we're right in this bottom one here, and we have to roll 1 yellow, 1 black, 1 green, 1 blue. And depending on what we roll, determines what happens. We've got a black, yellow, green and blue, and we start from the top and work our way down. So King's Rush doesn't do anything. Then Zipper will move. Doesn't do basic attack and doesn't do King's Inspiration. That's a pretty good first roll. In particular, this one here, the King's Rally, is pretty nasty. Let's start with the movement then. So it's just a regular movement, and we've got some rules here to tell you how Zipper moves. it says, for the Zipa, champion of El Dorado, move towards own tribute and obtain this greater than says, this is kind of like priority. So this is the top priority. The priority here is greater than the next one, which is move towards the opposing arena hex. Okay. If they cannot improve the position with a single move, then the Zipa will stay put. So she's going to move towards own tribute and obtain. You complete the champion's logic first, and then the rest of your opponent's units move and attack. Okay, just like in any other regular game of Hoplomachus. Now you can start however you wish as the player. Again, the reference sheets tell you how these move. Our opponent's got all El Dorado units, so it says move toward the closest opposing unit. If there's more than one closest, then the weakest. And then they attack the closest opposing unit, or most weakest if there's two closest. Right, so it's pretty simple. So let's see, Modula's going to move 2 towards the defender, the tactician's going to move 2, this one's going to stay put. So let's move Modular here, and we'll move this tactician here. They're each going to attack now, so these two tacticians, this is where something with retaliate might have been good here actually. But the thing is, I want bodies in the way. I don't necessarily want to kill these things, I just want to stand up to their onslaught. So these ones have 1 hit, no attack roll. That's 1 each, and this one's out of range. So we're down 2 health. And now it's back to us. Now I want to stay away from Modular, so I'm not going to deploy here because of this combat lock. Now I could put Defender here. If I deployed a Defender here right now, that's going to hold Modular here. Yeah, that's an option, because otherwise it's going to move straight in here, move on my Defender. Yeah, I wonder. So I could hold things up for another turn and not put Korykos in yet. Well, the plan was to bring Korykos in here, move her down here, use Propel to move this up here. Now let's stick with that plan. I think it's good. I like it. So Korykos is coming in. She's going to take 1 damage potentially. It depends. Let's deploy her here with her 2 strength. She has the ready ability. So I'm going to move down here, and I want to stay here because I want to pick up my tribute. She has 3 move. I'm going to use my tactic, which is Propel. The thing about Propel is, I'm going to put it here. Once you use it, the unit you propelled can't attack. But that's okay, I don't want it to. I don't want him to attack. I just want him to block this spot. Now I could, of course, just move the defender in here and then attack. But I don't want to attack Modular because it's got Bloodlust. If I move here, I couldn't move any further, so I'm going to use Propel to push the defender around here. And the next time I can deploy here potentially. Yeah, 1, 2, yeah, and kind of block up this area. I'm just wondering though, that might not be a good idea because this tactician's going to stay on Korykos. This is what I like about this game. I'm going to keep Propel. You've got to think like an abstract game. It's going to attack the closest and then the weakest. So the weakest is Korykos, but he might not after these 2 have attacked. Let's do that. Let's stay here. I'll keep Propel in my back pocket just in case I need to block things up here or even up here. Okay. So that's my move. She can attack. I could take out this tactician, couldn't I? That's the other option. Let's do that. She's got True Strike, which means basic attacks become alt attacks. Anyway, let's use her one hit, no roll. Remember, she has ready, she can attack the turn she's deployed. Defenders have reposition as their alt attack, but reposition doesn't work against combat lock, so I still can't move in here. But I could try and take down this tactician. One black die. So let's do that. Ready? Yes, we got our hit, so the tactician's down and out. Now, it's their turn. Now, this plays quite quickly. You can see I could potentially get the victory in 2 more turns if I can keep things happening down here. Right, King's Rush. This is the horrible one. This one will swap places with an adjacent unit that's closer to the opponent's arena hex. I hate this one because when this champion moves down here, they can kind of swap places with your defenders, the bodies you've put in the way. So one body in the way is never enough with this King's Rush, but it is the yellow die, which makes it harder to do. Okay, move. Now remember, we can choose which direction we want it to go. It's going to move towards this pillar, so we're going to bring it down this way. And the zipper has a movement of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's going to go in here. No basic attack, no King's Rally, but we do have King's Inspiration. All friendly units gain 1 health, and they can exceed their starting health. So all friendly units, so Modular and the second Tactician. Interesting about Modular. Remember, Bloodlust says if the unit's not at full health, add 1 black die. Well, the full health goes up. Basically what it means is perhaps not worded correctly. Anytime Modular takes a hit, takes some health damage, we'll get the 1 extra black die. Yeah, so even though they've been boosted up to 4, which is above their starting health of 3, if they take a hit now, health goes back down to 3. Bloodlust will kick in. No attack from the champion then, so Tactician is going to take out this one. Remember, it moves to the closest unit first. Let me just check. Move towards closest opposing unit. And then Modular rolls 1 black, 1 blue. Hopefully not taking out our defender permanently. 1 hit. Alright, we survived. Just survived. Now we're in good shape because Korykos, and this is why I chose her, can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 next. So we've got 2 more turns. So let's start with the deployment. And I've got to be a little bit careful. I don't want to put her in danger. I don't want to draw any units around this side. But I'm going to place Mashimo. I like Mashimo better. Mashimo. 3 health. And what I like about this one is his toss ability. So the toss ability can move an adjacent unit 1 hex left or right and is usable during the move phase. So the Zeepa's moving around here. And hopefully next time I'll move Modular back over here, clearing this space potentially. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Yep, she's coming up here. And then attacking, our defender could potentially put a hit on the Tactician. I don't see why not. Let's do that. Oh, misses anyway. That black die has only got 1 miss on it. 1 in 6 chance of missing. Okay, let's roll for the champion. Okay, we've got the black and the yellow, the King's Rush this time. Champion will swap places with an adjacent unit that's closer to the opponent's arena hex. So, Shimo's been pushed out of the way. And then black move move towards. So we're going to head in here. Our two non-champions now. They're not going to move. The closest unit's the defender. I'm going to have modular hit first. I think we might be alright. So black and blue. Would you believe it? 2 misses. Not that it matters, because now the tactician's going to take out our defender. I think we've got our victory, because although the Zeepa's going to move through this next turn, we're not bothered. So let's see, let's put our defender. Well, it doesn't matter now, does it? Doesn't matter. Our defender here. Well, we can use propel if we wish. We're going to use it on Mishimo. So Mishimo is going to launch the defender 2 hexes. 1, 2. Chuck him over the top there, blocking the way. He's now combat locked. This is stuck here. This moves over here. I think we've done it. That means we've immediately won the challenge. I forgot to mention, if you're carrying the tribute, so the Zeepa and Korykos, they gain the ability elevated. Check the back of the rulebook. Unit does +1 damage with a successful basic attack. That was a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. So that's level 4 complete. Trial 5 complete. Now trial 6. Keep watching the channel. We may show some more of these trials in later episodes. In the Xanadu arena, our aim is to score points by occupying these central hexes. You gain points, first 1 to 6 points wins, or whoever eliminates the enemy. Again, these central tiles are elevated. And then finally on Atlantis, our job here is to defeat the opponent's leader. You'll assign one of your chips as the leader, whichever one you wish. Ideally something with a little bit more strength. The health is doubled up on the Atlantis arena for your leader, so your leader is double strength. That includes your opponent's leader. So the Zeepa here would be strength 8. You can use the spear. So these are your deployment hexes. This is your enemy's deployment hexes. If you run and pick up the spear, you can use it to either throw at the enemy, but of course if you hit them, they can then pick it up and throw it back. Okay, or it's got this alternate attack, which is this Trident's Call, where you throw it to a hex, and this will summon the sea monster. Which side? The sea monster has 2 sides. One is stronger than the other, but one has a better attack than the other. That then becomes a unit under your control. Potentially attack the enemy. And this is always hard with Zeepa, because remember that she has this gold runner. You can't be hit with basic attacks within 2 range. And this is where I was kind of tempted to pull in the Javelineer, because the Javelineer has a range 3. So the only unit that can start taking down Zeepa 1, 2, 3. Of course, you can use abilities as well to hit the Zeepa if you like, if you can. Some of the other enemies you'll face, we have Kublai Khan, we have Arik Bok, Atlas, and the Zak. If you know your history, you may recognise some of these names. A wonderful addition to the series. This is one of my favourite games. Keep an eye on my top 100 Solitaire games of all time list. You can find that over on www.boxofdelights.net, and you'll see where this one places alongside other games like Mage Knight, Arkham Horror, Lord of the Rings. That's it for now. See you next time.